Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast. This is more Retro Gamers Fireside Chat. Larry here.
And this is Mario, a.k.a. Citizen G, a.k.a. Mr. Citizen, what it is.
And as you can tell, that is not Anthony. No, what we have this week, Anthony's actually on assignment this week, somewhere in the United States. So my good longtime friend Mario has graciously accepted my invite to co-host this week on the Better Half Podcast. Mario, welcome.
Larry, I'm very grateful. I'm honored. I've actually wanted to do this show for a long time because we both have obviously a great interest in the old school video games, and no, it's cool to be here, man. I really appreciate it.
Good. That's awesome. And you as well. Well, first, let's kind of talk about. Let's bring the people up to speed here, just with our history. We've known each other for what?
About 19 years.
Right?
At the end of this year, I'd say we hit. No, next year will be 20 years. I think. No. This November will be 20 years.
99.
99. The circumstances 99. I was working in New York Tech. Through Barnes & Noble College, which you were working at Adelphi at the same time. An opportunity came for me to become a supervisor there, and I accepted the job because it was a couple of cents more an hour. They don't exactly pay well over there, and we were much younger, obviously. And I met you. I met Ruben, and I had brought another old friend of mine, Marianne, through another circle of friends there afterwards. But you and I, we hit it off pretty quick. I used to go hang out in your dorm. I used to tease your roommate, and we used to play video games, or at least I'd watch you play video games, and I was just as entertained anyway.
I was a little controlling, admittedly, with my systems.
Oh, I don't consider it controlling. I was just having a good time hanging out, with you, and I took that role a lot, especially when it came to like the Nintendo end of things over time. So when NES was new, when I was a young kid, I used to like to play. It was my brother's system. I used to bully him until I got to play it, and then he'd be stingy about it anyway, and I'd get in trouble. But after a while, he'd have his friends over, or we'd have our friends over, and I was like kind of content to sit back and relax and watch them kind of play. And, I had my Sega. But getting back to us, we had a lot of fun little adventures. The brief time I was at Adelphi, as we all know, I really didn't get along with the manager there, and before I got my current job, which I've been at now for almost 19 years, I transferred back to New York Tech at the end. But we had a good friendship. We used to take the box trucks into Manhattan, deliver books, and then go to Nathan's and play arcades, and get ourselves into trouble.
Old school Nathan's Coney Island.
It's a shame. That place just closed down. That one in Westbury that we went to.
Oh no, that's the only good one, in my opinion. The only good one that was in Nassau County.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was one of the last real arcades that they had.
Well, that too.
It changed. It became one of those cheesy, like, Dave and Buster style arcades.
Yeah.
But right before that, it was one of the last arcades. In fact, I think when I have a segment on my blog where I look at old school games, and I look at more, not so much the technical end, I get into that a little bit. I try to get into the memory aspect, the feelings associated playing those kind of games. But a segment on my blog and the Facebook group, I called it The Last Arcade. I was thinking of places like Nathan's. I was thinking of places like the arcade the Broadway Mall had. I was thinking of places like Time Out. Now, even though I cover more than just arcade games, and any contributor who wants to cover something is more than free to write something, by the way, quick dirty plug out there. That's what I had in mind, and that I want to get back to those feelings when you did go into the arcades and things were kind of fresh and new, and you were like, "Wow, this is Final Fight game. This is way better. The guys are huge compared to the Double Dragon guys."
I had growing up, I had an arcade literally right around the corner from me. It looked like it was just a house that someone bought and turned into an arcade. It was fantastic, and it was really the last place I remember, like WrestleFest and like Superstars, which were two of my favorite wrestling arcade games. WrestleFest probably being the best. But arcades is definitely and time gone by. I find it funny when we were talking about Nathan's, you were talking about the arcades part of it. I was talking about the Nathan's part of it, the food part of it as well.
You can't get past those fries and those hot dogs. Absolutely, man. You know, you gotta go for that. I mean, that Nathan's in particular had a couple of other, like Arthur Treaches and stuff after that. But did you ever play Wrestle War yet? Have you played Sega's Wrestle War?
You know, do I even have it? I don't even think I own it. I don't think I've played it.
The arcade one is the worthy one. The Genesis one and I'm going off memory, it was a little lackluster. I still think it was fun. I wouldn't mind finding a way to track that game down just to try it one more time. But I remember, so there was a 7-Eleven around the block from my house when I lived in Westbury, and it used to have arcades in it. Like, it would change arcades every few months. In fact, that was the first place where I ever played Street Fighter 2. With my friend Jason and my friend Jason Mena. I go back even further with him, like going back to the second grade, maybe even earlier than that. Between him and his brothers, they had every freaking video game console, and I'm talking like 3DO and stuff. Mm-hmm. They had a Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet in their house. Wow. That was the first time I was ever exposed. And this was like second grade. It was awesome. His brother Steven had opened a video rental store when we were in our teens, so I shared a lot of experiences with this guy when I was younger, and I got a lot of stronger. So every time we'd go to that 7-Eleven on our bikes, it'd be like a different arcade, and I never forgot the first time we played Street Fighter 2.
You know, it's funny.
We thought Dalsim was the guy to use because we could just keep guys back by just with his long leg attacks, and no, we learned pretty quickly.
You know, I feel like, you know, everyone can remember the first time they played Street Fighter 2. It's almost like, where were you when JFK was shot? Like, where were you when you first played Street Fighter 2? For me, it was Breezy Point Surf Club, early 90s. They brought in this arcade machine over by the cafeteria, and they had a couple of arcades there. And I'm like, you know, a bunch of us were like, what is this game? This weird fighting game. And I remember I put my quarter in. I was E Honda. And I probably played for like a good half hour. Now, granted, this is before really the term and the gameplay of cheaping was started.
Nobody knew anything.
No, of course not. Yeah. So I just thousand hand slapped everybody.
Good.
Until someone just kicked my butt.
Shoot the heck out of them. That caused more problems than anything else. But we knew about Street Fighter 2 because we saw it in EGM like a month or two prior. The year the school, I forgot if it was the spring or the summer, 90, 91 or something like that. I think it was 91.
I think 91, yeah.
Okay. So we were still high off Strider, you know, which was like awesome, an awesome arcade, awesome Sega Genesis translation. And we saw a screenshot, and what the screenshot was that I remember, Dalsim was kicking somebody. I forgot who, and it was in Blanca Stage. And we're like, oh, wow, look at this guy. His leg could stretch, you know, it stretches across the screen. This guy will beat anybody. And yeah. We did fairly well with him. I mean, we also had $10 worth of quarters.
That'll do it.
Yep, and I did have a match with Dr. Dre of Yo MTV Raps there.
When?
Oh, God, it was like...
That same era?
It had to be around that era, because that's when because they had friends over there in Uniondale and Westbury. So he came in, and he came up to the machine while
now,
I
we're
was
not
playing.
talking like Eminem's Dr. Dre. We're talking like Dr. Dre and Ed Lover.
I'm talking Dr. Dre and Ed Lover of Yo MTV Raps. Yeah. And he put the quarter in next to me, and I looked, and it was him, and I was kind of like a little shook, and he smiled at me, and he kicked my buttocks, and no, he gave me $1 or something to let me buy a Slurpee.
Oh, there you go.
He really,
that was actually
a sweetheart of a guy. I don't know if he's ever listened to this or remember it, but it was almost every afternoon, every weekend, an army of kids would park their bikes out there. That machine made that 7-Eleven so much money. And, you know, kids were actually starting to get into almost real fights. Like, yeah, I'll do this to you in real life. Oh, yeah, then I'll sue you. And then it's like, oh, let's go outside. And it's like, you know, the usual 13-year-old posturing.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly. So that's basically our history. Mm-hmm. And, you know, with me and Anthony, and we've been called out, and we admit it, we are fully aware that we're very Nintendo heavy. It's what we grew up on. You, though, on the other hand, are one of our few friends who was Sega heavy growing up.
Yeah, and I think it was rooted in some sort of competition, maybe with my brother, or maybe, you know, he had one thing, and I guess I had to have the other product, and it started really out of that stinginess.
Did you have a Nintendo growing up?
My brother had the NES.
Okay.
And our neighbor, Brian Puglisi, across the street had an NES, and everybody had an NES. I only knew one person prior to myself who had a Sega Master System, and the games, they seemed okay. I mean, they were very colorful. It's hard to kind of reconnect with your younger self because I'm thinking about the tinny sound effects and music, and but it was a very colorful looking system. The graphics were similarly drawn, but the colors were very vibrant. I remember that. So one other person and myself had a Sega Master System. And at that point in our lives, I had actually moved from one house in Westbury to another. So, all the friends would come over and play Nintendo and stuff after school with my brother, and I was kind of, my parents had a TV in their room, and that's where the Master System was.
Yeah.
But the games I had on the Master System, I thought I chose them pretty well. Some of them had NES versions of it, and I always honestly felt, even to this day looking at it, if you put Rampage NES and Rampage Master System next to each other, listen, Rampage Master System blows it out of the water.
You always swear. You've always been swearing to that.
First and foremost, you can use all three characters. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's only a 2-player game, but you can use it. The colors are more on point. The drawings of the graphics look like the arcade, and it plays like the arcade. It's a little flicker heavy, and like I said, and I know that the Famicom and the Master System, I think they called it the Mark II in Japan, had better sound chips.
Oh yeah. Nintendo,
right?
Yeah, Nintendo.
Same thing with Sega.
It always lacked that.
The Master System in Japan had an amazing sound chip, and if you could find this stuff on YouTube, if you look up Rampage with the enhanced sound, it sounds like the arcade. So you had that. Double Dragon, maybe not so much better, but you could play 2 players simultaneous. And it was the 4 stages of the arcade and not the adapted NES version. And I'm not going to knock the NES version, even though I know Anthony's not a big fan of it.
Yeah, I never really noticed any issues with the first one. I know there are. I guess when you go back and play it, you can see it.
If you ever get a chance on YouTube, both you guys should check out Jeremy Parrish's channel. He gets really in-depth with the makings of some of these games and why they were the way they were. Some of the early NES adaptations were hewed close to the arcade, but when Nintendo came out with its seal of quality, they had a requirement that these games had to have a certain percentage amount of difference.
Absolutely.
And, I didn't know that. I always thought that, and it kind of did tie in. I always thought because Nintendo wasn't quite arcade quality that they had to make it different, so they expanded on the levels and maybe put some storyline into it just to have a different playing experience. Well, that was the exact reason.
Is that why like Genesis has that? I think it's called Double Dragon 2, the arcade game. Because they tried to just like directly port it, yeah.
They adapted a lot of arcades. The Genesis hewed a lot closer to the arcade experience.
Oh well, yeah, because of the 16 bits
processing
and the blast processing.
So if you notice, their early platforming was the games were very arcadey. Some of them had unlimited continues. Some of them you could beat very easily. It wasn't like that with the NES. So the NES came out with some very in-depth good platformers. Compare Rygar on NES to the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Rygar on the NES is better.
Yep.
It has its flaws, but basically Rygar in the arcade is just a side-scrolling platform. You really do nothing. And they're meant to be impossibly hard, so you keep putting quarters in.
Like Contra. You ever play the original Contra, the original arcade?
Yes.
I hate the original arcade. I have it on Xbox Live.
Yeah,
it came out. Like it looks nothing like the NES version, which is my favorite game, basically of all time on the NES.
Wow, really?
And I think it plays better on the NES than it did on the than in the
30-man trick certainly helps.
Well, that did help the first time around.
I didn't have 30 quarters to throw in that to that at the arcade.
Though I did finally beat it without the Konami code. I think it was in 2018.
Damn,
I did it.
Buddy, I barely beat it with the Konami code these days, and I can't even get it to work on my NES Classic. So, but getting back to the Sega Master System, I had Rampage. The version of Ghostbusters was infinite.
Yes.
It was actually a playable game. The NES version.
The NES version is a disaster.
And the Atari version. Did you ever play the 2600?
I think I did play the Atari version. I feel like I did.
Actually, I think the Atari version, even though the graphics are hideous, it's better than. I think the NES is probably the most unplayable version of the game.
I believe that.
But the Sega Master System was very playable. It was very more user-friendly. The graphics, again, much more colorful. The staircase sequence that, the Angry Video one...
Yep.
It's very...
Where do these stairs go?
It's not that difficult. Basically, you have an option to shoot straight or you shoot at a 45-degree angle and you position yourself where the ghosts are and the ghosts disintegrate. It's nothing like what the NES version was like.
Yeah, the NES one was terrible.
I mean, it still has the same stupid ending with the bad localization.
Oh, yeah, well.
But that makes it all the more
A champion
fun.
is you.
Yeah. So, and then there was Phantasy Star.
I never really got into Phantasy Star, I got to admit.
There's only 2 role-playing games in my life I ever played. Phantasy Star was one of them. Final Fantasy VII was the other. So,
I got to say, my favorite, as much as I'm Nintendo heavy, my favorite role-playing series of all time is on Genesis, Shining Force. Shining Force 1 and Shining Force 2 are 2 of my favorite RPGs ever, and really the only ones ever truly sat down and played through, probably besides Super Mario RPG.
And got like really engaged.
Oh,
I've
probably beaten Shining Force, the first one, a few times because I had it on Genesis. I think I beat it on one of the early Genesis collections that came out. Yeah. And then it also, a version of it came out on Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just, all of them I beat, and that game I truly, truly love. And again, that was a Genesis game.
That's freaking awesome.
So I got some ties to Genesis.
Yeah, and then like I said, the other thing that I loved when the Genesis came out, they came out with the power-based converter, so I didn't have to get rid of my Master System games.
One of the first backwards compatible. Well, I guess Atari technically was backwards compatible first.
Oh,
but
with the 7800.
Yeah. But that power-based converter, which I never owned, so I never truly played a Master System game. I never truly played the Master System card. The ones that the games that look like a TurboGrafx
too. I never owned any game cards. I never understood it. I never.
Mm-hmm.
I went right with. I thought you see a cartridge in your mind. This is a 10-year-old's mind. Card this big, this thin. Cartridge. The game's got to be better on the cartridge.
Yeah.
Well,
TurboGrafx proved that wrong. So
that's true too. TurboGrafx. That was a strange system.
I only knew one person. One of my friends had a TurboGrafx.
My friend Jason.
Yeah, my friend Robbie had a TurboGrafx, and we just played that on. I remember there was I can't remember the name of it. Hopefully, someone out there listening is probably going to be screaming at their podcasting.
Keith Courage and the Alpha Zones.
No, not that one. It was like a role playing
dungeon
sports car racing game, like not NASCAR, but like an Indy car racing, but it was an RPG. I can't remember. I don't think it was Moto Racer. I think it was something else.
That's definitely a unique genre experience. I never heard.
It was weird. Besides Bonk that was on there and Splatterhouse, of course.
Was awesome. Bonk games were awesome, but there was a game, Legendary Axe.
Yes.
1 and 2. Excellent platformers. Excellent. Great level design. Well-drawn graphics. Easy to use.
I have a handful of TurboGrafx games which I can't use because I don't have a TurboGrafx because I threw away that stupid Retro Freak, and but I'm getting the Polymega this year.
I saw something about that recently. I meant to share it to you. Did I share it to you?
I don't think so. Hopefully, it's coming out.
It was some sort of advertisement for it.
It's awesome. Think about $250 for a clone for one of the first or the first clone CD system. And it's 5 CD systems in one for $250. You cannot beat that price.
No, absolutely.
Especially for what it... And as much as it's 5 systems, it's really like 15 because it will play North American, PAL, and Japanese versions of the Sega CD, the Neo Geo CD, the PS1, the Saturn, and the TurboGrafx CD.
Those are all pretty good picks. Those,
I was
a Sega CD nut myself.
I love Sega CD.
Yeah,
that's really kind of why I got it.
For the Sega CD?
A lot of games. I mean, I don't have any right now. Oh, I'd have a couple. I have a Shining Force CD, which I'm dying to play.
You've got Sonic, and
Sonic CD.
That's one of the top tier Sega CD games. Probably the best Sonic game ever made.
And I even have Shining Force 3, which is my holy grail for Saturn.
I didn't even know.
Which I'm still missing the instruction booklet for. I can't wait to play that.
Looking at your shelves, it's like sensory overload right now.
Yeah, I know. I got to...
I love how the Hulkster guards this Genesis games. Nikolai Volkov is over
Signed
there. Signed
Nikolai Volkov.
And it's like they're protecting the games.
Yes, as the boards slowly warp. So, only got a matter of time before I start relocating.
Yeah. So there was the Master System, which I want to say is underrated, but I also understand completely it did not have the support it needed. It did not get the advertising it needed. I don't know if you know, but I do believe Tonka Toys was actually the distributor of that in North America. And they did not do
the TurboGrafx?
No, I'm sorry. I went back to the Master System.
I'm sorry.
Forgive me. Yeah.
No. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
So they didn't do a good job with the advertising and whatnot. So the Master System was a flop, and I think Sega handled their own with the Sega Genesis, which obviously became a huge hit. It was a little bit of a slow burn in the beginning, but it became a pretty. Obviously, it gave SNES and Nintendo a run for its money.
Genesis did what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, for a while. I mean, Nintendo caught up pretty freaking quick. So
with the nonsense blast processing.
But my last Sega system was the Sega CD.
Oh, really? You didn't go Dreamcast?
I never went Dreamcast, never went Saturn.
Well, unfortunately, Saturn, I think a lot of people skip to Saturn, which is a shame because there's a lot of good Saturn games out there.
I went with PlayStation.
Everyone did, yeah.
I think I actually got annoyed at that point with Sega because they went from Sega CD to 32X. Now...
Well, I mean, the 32X I would just consider an add-on, not necessarily maybe the next gen.
But it bombed. It didn't, and it wasn't bad. The games, actually, some of the games on it were pretty good.
Yeah.
I never went with it.
Anthony actually had a 32X, and he did have some good games. I remember, we had Raw, but the only besides slightly better graphics, there was one more character, Quang of all people, which was Savio Vega. But the 32X, that add-on, if you had a Genesis, a Sega CD, and a 32X, you had to have a power strip just dedicated
just for
to that.
Sega system, and that was a problem.
Yeah,
that was a problem. Some of the games that were coming out at the end of the Sega CD's life cycle were phenomenal. I had, people talk about Final Fight, how
Final
good
Fight
it was.
CD.
It's probably the best home version of Final. It's a slightly, obviously it's a slightly downgrade in the color, but that's it. The music is better. Mm-hmm. It plays and animates just like the arcade. Yep. You play all three players.
Cody wasn't even available. Not Cody. Guy. Excuse me, Guy.
Yeah. But not just that, they had a version of Fatal Fury Special.
Yes.
Which was mind-blowing. The music was right out of the arcade. It looked fairly close. It animated beautifully. I think they did Samurai Showdown. Some of those Neo Geo games were pretty...
they may have been ported. The Neo Geo, you ever know anyone with a Neo Geo? You have friends
my friend Jason.
Who was rich enough to own a Neo Geo?
His brothers, they both worked at the Wiz, so they were always. I don't know if they were able to get this, but they always had. They were always getting them.
Lord.
I worked at the Wiz too.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
God,
I pretty much got fired from the Wiz. Yep, I was 18. Yeah,
the Wiz, for those, I don't know. I don't even know how far the Wiz stretched outside of New York or the Northeast.
They were a Brooklyn-based company.
Yeah,
my cousin Lenny, I think years ago, also worked for the Wiz. So I worked there very briefly.
The Wiz just
music and movies. I was terrible at my job. I was also working at Nassau Community College and going to school. It was my first year, and I was being an 18-year-old kid, so it wasn't going to last.
I'll do it. Nobody beats the Wiz. Mario tried to beat the Wiz.
No, the Wiz beat me without a doubt. In the long run, we all beat the Wiz because they're not in business anymore.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
but,
them and Crazy Eddie. Well, you want to talk about retro? Good gosh. Yeah. Anthony's got maybe next week we'll talk about it. Anthony's got a great story about the Wiz and I think the Sega CD, a return policy that went awry for a minute, but Anthony somehow worked his way around it.
My first Sega CD, I had to return my Sega CD when I first got it. It didn't work. Just the loading screen came up, and the Sega CD never animated. It was just those planets.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on here?
I remember the infamous story I had where I was walking up the stairs from the basement to the main floor Christmas Eve,
right,
and my mom was wrapping the Sega CD, but I didn't want her to catch me. So I ran back downstairs, waited. Then the next day for Christmas, I opened up all my presents, and the Sega CD wasn't there. So I had to play it off like, oh, okay.
Were you one of those kids when you found out that there wasn't a Santa, which, by the way, kids, there really is a Santa, we're just talking here, that you went hunting around the house looking to see where they hid the gifts?
I never looked for my gifts.
My brother and I were scumbags.
No offense, that doesn't shock me.
No, it doesn't shock me either. Oh, good.
No, I had no interest in looking for gifts, because then that would ruin my Christmas. It's like a spoiler alert.
No, I know. Well, this was an early version of a spoiler alert.
It was
I think...
Like my idiot friend who shall not be named.
Oh boy!
I think today gave away the ending to Game of Thrones because somehow I think it leaked online. I'm assuming it was Game of Thrones.
Well, when the show is off, since I don't have much of an interest in that show, tell me.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm actually curious because I watched it for years.
I don't know if it was Game of Thrones or Walking Dead, but
yeah, and being that I live in Belmore now, I don't watch TV.
Okay,
I just don't. I'll watch movies on
I have no
Amazon.
choice but to watch TV.
Yeah, I'll read. Maybe I'll hook up the NES Classic or SNES Classic, which, by the way, that went through Sega. We went through Nintendo now. Obviously, you were a Nintendo guy, right?
Yep.
So, when did you start
branching off?
Was it a Sega system? Was it PlayStation?
No, it was Sega. It was definitely Sega because I remember I got a Genesis for Christmas. I'm trying to remember what game got me to get a Genesis. It may have been Castlevania Bloodlines.
That was an excellent version.
That may have been the game that got me to want a Genesis.
Wow.
And then from there, collected Sonic and Knuckles, like I said, Shining Force. I don't know how I stumbled on Shining Force, which is weird because I wasn't into RPGs. Yeah.
And you're really not to this day. It's just that
really just that. Yeah, really not into RPGs.
Right. Have you ever played like a real RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons? Have you ever done that? I've never done it.
Like dice and pen
Rolling
and paper. Yeah, I have.
How is it? You enjoy that too? Does it connect anyway?
I mean, I was early teens when I did it. It was a good time. Like me and my friends were around, and then I remember the exact moment I stopped playing D&D.
Really?
And it was I went to my friend's house. It was me and my buddy. So I get there, I set up. He sets up the board, and he was the dungeon master. And I go, okay, where's everybody else? And he goes, nope, it's just going to be us. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's just going to be me, the dungeon master, and you. So I'm like...
It takes a minimum of
so
three,
no
right?
one else is coming over? He's like, nope, just us. I'm like, okay, see you later. I picked up my dice, I left, and that was the last time I played Dungeons & Dragons.
You never looked back.
I was done. But I had some good times.
It seems
some good times with Dungeons & Dragons.
Gaming-wise, it seems like that's a scene unto itself. Like, there's a whole RPG... movement.
What's
like,
his face just came out?
Tabletop gaming is getting kind of big.
What the hell's his name? He's married to Sofia Vergara. Joe Magliano?
Oh, the guy who was in that Netflix Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yes.
Joe Manganiello?
Something like that,
right?
Yeah. He was in a movie with Schwarzenegger a few years ago.
He was the original Flash Thompson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
No, was he?
Yes, he was.
That was him?
Remember, we're going back almost 20 years now. We're going back about 2002.
I'm fact-checking you right now.
Check it out, dude. Check it out.
He was Flash who Tobey Maguire beat up?
I wouldn't want to fight me either. Remember that line? Yeah.
I refuse to believe that right now.
Think about what that guy looked like. You'll see it.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's sad that I kind of knew that off
Flash
the top.
Thompson. Joe Magliano.
You know, it's
I'm never going to pronounce his name properly.
Kind of sad that I knew that.
No, that's awesome. Let's see what else he was in.
But,
he was in Rampage. I forgot about that.
I was talking with another friend about something else. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, Larry. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna because for a moment I do want to plug your stuff, your podcast, your blog. Real quick, just give a shout out for your podcast, your blog.
So I have a multi platform thing that I call the Rough Cut. The Rough Cut is basically it's a lifestyle thing. It's a hobbyist thing, but it's also a journal. I do a podcast. Which I've only got one episode in right now. I'll be getting more in. I've done 2 YouTube videos. I've got more in the works. I've been playing around, learning the editing aspects of that. And and the heart of it is a blog where basically I'll write articles on things going on in life, whether it's like men's lifestyle kind of stuff, whether it's things going on with me personally. Maybe it's my workout routine I change, or maybe it's an approach to something going on. Maybe it's just a review of a book. Maybe it's just talking about a movie that I remember that not too many people know about. I got a friend, Steve, brilliant freaking guy, very well educated, very knowledgeable, and he had done a series of about 5 or 6 articles that we have on the blog on the history of certain doo-wop bands from the 50s and 60s, and I found it fascinating. I thought they were well researched and well written. He put them up, and we got a lot of hits from it. And I'm always looking for somebody to maybe write a little something of something that interests. So Larry, if you wanted to write something on a game, your relationship with Shining Force, how it's out of the ordinary for you.
I may have to have Anthony ghostwrite it though.
That's fine. But you know what I'm saying? If you ever wanted to...
Yeah.
So and that's the idea behind it. It's basically everyday people and their creative outputs, you know. And that's what I'm going for with it. So I may do a silly little video. I may do a video essay. I may do a podcast and a blog. So that's kind of... It's like a three-pronged approach. I also do Periscopes live. So if something at the moment strikes me worth talking about for anywhere from 3 to 20 minutes... I'll go on live and discuss it. Maybe I read something, an article about relationships, you know. So, like, I'm going to get into my little situation.
Yeah, go for it.
So, I'm currently separated. I'm in the process of divorce. I've got 2 young girls. They're my heart and my soul, my blood and everything. And, things come up in life. So, maybe if I go out on a date or something, I'll talk about that and what's going on in that world. You know, I happen to work 2 jobs. So, I have my career and I have a little side job that I do. It's about life, and it's about the rough cut. Everything's a rough edit. It's very rarely, a polished product. And while I do put a layer of polish on it within my means, it's about being raw. It's about being real, and that's the rough cut. You can find it on the WordPress. I think it's roughcut.home.
We'll put links in the
we'll put the
podcast
links
description.
in. So, but you could. I basically with social media, I stick to Twitter, WordPress, and YouTube. Did I say Periscope? Periscope is basically Twitter.
Yeah.
So those are kind of, and Spreaker right now, and possibly in the future, whatever we decide.
Yeah,
to do.
we may. You may join us.
Yeah.
We'll see if my people contact your people.
We'll talk the business.
We'll hammer it out. In a few moments, we're actually going to do something a little, probably kind of first time in a long time. I used to actually have a little segment here previously where I did this. We're going to play some games. We're going to play some classic games, admittedly mostly on the Switch because it'll take too long to do different systems.
Do you have Toe Jam and Earl?
I do on PlayStation 4.
Good Lord.
Well, I mean, we can do that.
You know, my youngest daughter loves Toe Jam and Earl.
Are you looking forward to the new one?
She told me about it. You told me about it. I've seen it. It looks awesome. The Xbox is at her house, so she's got to download it over there.
It's on Xbox. It's going to be on Switch. I assume it's going to be on PS4.
You're starting to win me over on this Switch.
I'm telling you, we're going to play Switch in a little while, which you can actually catch the video, because by the time you listen to this, the live feed is already going to be over. But you'll be able to watch it on our Facebook page. What was I going to say? Real quick, before we move on, because as you mentioned, you talk about different stuff, pop culture, but like movies, books, stuff like that. What are your thoughts about recent video game movies?
The only video game movie I watched that I ever enjoyed, and it's purely on a campy, this is so bad it's good level, was the first Mortal Kombat.
That was a good movie.
It is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think many people into pop culture, and sometimes the boundaries get blurred. Sometimes movies are so bad they're bad. Last Jedi. But then you have movies like 1985 No Retreat, No Surrender, which was Jean-Claude Van Damme's first movie. It's hideously acted and produced, but it's actually made by the guy I think who does The Transporter, the director.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong on that,
right.
But
I'm not going to bother fact checking you on that.
I watched that when I was 8 years old, and I can watch it today. And I love every single line of dialogue. I love every single shot. I love every sped up punch and kick. So, point being, Mortal Kombat fits in that territory where it's just watchable to me. When he fights Shang Tsung at the end and the techno music kicks on.
That soundtrack was awesome.
I just die laughing.
For mid-90s.
And it's genuinely fun to watch.
It
doesn't have to be La Strada. It doesn't have to be Casablanca. It doesn't have to be even, by today's standards, Return of the King. You know what I mean?
You know, movies don't have to be Oscar-worthy to be fun to watch.
Yeah, if they have a heartbeat, that's what matters.
Yeah.
If you know these people, they know they made something terrible, but they put every ounce of the work into making something that was fun, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, classic.
And it's got a wink and a nudge, like, haha, we're just joking around, You can enjoy it. But when a movie tries to take itself seriously, and it just goes wrong on every level, and it just condescends to its audience. I don't care how much money they put into it. You know what I mean? So I don't know too many other video games. I saw Super Mario Brothers another lifetime ago, and I barely remember it. I
liked it then. I like it now for the corniness.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because you can watch a movie and say, I love this movie, and revisit it 10, 15 years later, and sometimes they don't age like wine. They don't age well. So, but Mortal Kombat always stuck out in my head as the video. What other video? You got to name a few, because jog my memory.
I mean, we have the entire Resident Evil series with Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was fantastic.
I don't remember the first
one.
You don't remember the first
one? It's probably one of the best.
It's like the Fast and the Furious series. They're kind of a blur to me.
I hear you now. I still haven't seen the last one, the final chapter. Most recently, Rampage with The Rock.
I didn't see Rampage.
I didn't.
Tell me about
let
it.
me.
Rampage is one of my favorite arcade games.
No, exactly. Yeah. And spoiler alert, but not really.
Don't worry about it.
Really, I like when it's like a video game movie, but like there's elements of the game in there.
Right.
And the element of the game in Rampage is the arcade cabinet Rampage that you see in the background in like the office of the the big bad CEO.
So I heard they're just animals. They're not people that turn into animals.
It's not. Yeah.
See, that's
that
alone.
I know that annoyed me.
That alone, it doesn't annoy me.
And like 2 buildings fell over.
To see that in a movie, a 6-foot man or a 5'10" man and a woman and another guy turn into like 300-foot monsters.
Yeah.
That alone would have me laughing my butt off going into that theater to want to go see it.
I equate it to Battleship, the movie Battleship.
Never saw that one either.
If Battleship was named anything else but Battleship and had 0 ties to the board game, it would be a fun sci-fi movie.
Okay.
But the fact that it's tied into the board game,
it's like
makes no sense. Now, granted, the ending is phenomenal. Now, on a personal basis, I like Battleship because
I used to love Battleship.
I meant the movie.
I love the game.
I mean, the game is awesome, but like the movie because they do, it takes place Pearl Harbor, modern day at the time, but they do use actual veterans. In fact, at the end, and again, it's been a few years, so really no spoiler alert at this point. Like they start up the which is the Battleship, not the Arizona that's sunk. I think the Missouri. The Missouri is still floating. Yeah. So they like gas it up. They start up and they get actual USS Missouri veterans to
that's pretty
jump
wild.
back on the boat, acting in the movie, but they are actual veterans.
Wow!
And again, I like that for
sentimental
a
spot.
Very,
No, absolutely, the Patriot in you.
And then they go off, and
I
they
commend that.
But like aliens, what? Where do aliens come in? The Battleship. So,
do you remember 3D talking Battleship?
I remember talking Battleship. I don't remember 3D talking Battleship.
Basically, the 3D piece slid into the talking part. It was a flat board, and then the thing would talk.
I remember talking Battleship.
Yeah, but it was. I think it was called. Maybe it was just.
I think it was straight up talking Battleship.
Maybe you're right about that. Yeah.
You sunk my battleship.
Another video game movie that everybody actually hates, but I actually love for the same reason I like Mortal Kombat is Street Fighter. I love that movie.
Oh,
it is terrible.
Poor Raul Julia. That's his final film.
He looked awful in that movie. You could see he was sick.
Oh no, absolutely.
I felt bad for him, but he hammed that turkey up, man.
I mean, Guile, the number one like United States
played by a Belgian
the muscles from Brussels.
Bison, are you man enough to fight with me? And it was like, come on, man.
And he does the corny kick and everything, and the sonic boom.
Oh my god, that was great. And at the end, for no reason, they just do their Street Fighter poses. Like the last thing you see, they all do their Street Fighter poses. Like, and
do you think it redeemed itself with the Legend of Chun-Li?
Honestly, that is one of the most unwatchable. That's you jogged my memory. I appreciate that. I did catch that. It was either on Netflix or cable one time, and I tried to watch it late one night, early one morning when I was living at home. That movie is so unwatchable. That might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like,
yeah, it's a tough one.
That was rough. I don't. And the chick who played
Kristen Kruk. She was on Smallville,
right?
She was Lois.
Was she part of that sex?
No, she wasn't. She was Lana.
Right? Wasn't she involved in that? And she kind of got away from it. Like she was one of the people named.
I don't know if it was her or Lois.
She
the one who played Lois.
She wasn't arrested, but she was implicated.
Yeah. No, not like Chloe from Smallville. She was busted first. She
Yeah,
was like
she
the
was
head.
busted, but I
she was
think
the head
Kristen
honcho.
Crook
I think
was-
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We're going to go on record and saying maybe.
Yep.
We don't know.
She should have stuck to Street Fighter movies, I guess.
So
And there's another one that's
Yes.
even worse. Now you see but they're all fighting games. There was
I think
a
they make the
Tekken-
best.
There was a
Oh,
Tekken
God,
movie.
that's right. I never saw it, though.
Good God, it was worse than the Chun-Li movie.
You ever see DOA? You know the game Dead or Alive?
I remember they made a movie.
Had a movie.
I remember it. I
Yep.
never saw it.
That really, you can watch that on mute and you'll be perfectly fine.
I saw some of that. I think it was Ready Player One,
Oh, that movie's fantastic.
which was to me, it's more of a love letter to video games.
See, knowing
than-
you,
yeah.
you're going to love the book 100 times more than the movie.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, the book is fun. I read the book.
You have the book around here.
I do. I do.
Wow.
I can give it to you.
You
Yeah.
can lend it to me, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, the book is. I mean,
I'll
what
read
they
it.
had to do in the movie, like they had to take liberties to fit it into like 2 hours.
No
but the
kidding.
liberties they took on film, I think, were perfectly fine for film. But in the book, it's going to be definitely different enough,
Okay.
drastically
You
different
have
enough.
to. Yeah, I understand.
But I think I'll give you the book before you leave.
All right. What other video game movies were there?
Oh God, there's.
There's so many, but none of them ever. Really...
And I'm not counting really the cartoon ones. Yeah, we're talking like live. Even though, like coming out soon, Detective Pikachu looks, in my opinion, like the first video game movie
That's
that really
faithful.
looks faithful because you know a lot of times in these movies, like let's take Super Mario Brothers for example,
Okay.
the Goombas. That's all I have to say. The Goombas. They were like
yeah.
8 feet tall.
Yeah, it was a little.
In the video game, they were smaller than Mario and Luigi.
I heard that
So-
John Leguizamo and Hopkins, they were like drinking every day
Oh, I'm
on
sure.
the set. They couldn't believe what they were in.
You know, a lot of times they take these liberties to change things to make it fit the film. But Detective Pikachu, short of fur, these Pokemon look like they're pulled straight out of the video game and put into real life. I love that. That's what I want to see on film. That's why when me and Anthony talked about it a few weeks ago, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's coming out later this year.
Oh, boy.
Which is animated mixed with
Yeah,
real
yeah.
life. And some people who have seen Sonic, because we haven't really seen what Sonic looks like yet, people are worried. People are concerned. So
Okay. I didn't see
you know.
pictures. I don't.
No,
remember.
they have the motion poster,
Yeah.
but Sonic has the silhouette over his face, so you can't really see his front. You just see, you can tell his outline, but
Two games that I'm surprised they never made movies of them, but I could understand that the owners being protective of the property. One being The Legend of Zelda. I think that would work
that's
well
been
as
thrown
like,
around. I think because of the Super Mario Brothers movie, Nintendo got very worried for a while.
I don't
but
blame them.
you know, we're getting the animated Super Mario Brothers in a few years.
Okay, so
movie,
there you
so,
go.
yeah.
But I think that lends itself to a CGI style kind of fantasy thing.
I think so.
And they never did a Metal Gear movie. That those games were kind of like love letters to cinema to a degree.
I feel like there may have been one on the table, kind of like the
Right.
Halo movie.
I heard the dude who did Skull Island was going to do it.
I didn't
And he
hear
had
about
all-
that.
Yeah,
Because
and
I knew, is it
I didn't like Skull
Guillermo
Island.
del Toro, I think, was supposed to do Halo, or Peter Jackson,
No
one of the
kidding.
two, was supposed to do Halo.
Really?
Yeah, but also the rumor always coming around that Zelda's going to head to Netflix.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, Netflix did Castlevania. That anime
Yeah,
on
I saw
Netflix is
the first season.
phenomenal. You
Yeah.
gotta watch the second season. Amazing. And I just discovered this new anime. It's straight up anime.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't watched it yet. It's called High Score Girl.
Okay.
And what happens? It's basically a straight up anime
Right.
dubbed. But they have, I guess Capcom has something to do with it because there's actual gameplay of Final Fight of Street Fighter 2
Really?
because they're like the kids playing in the arcade.
Did you know Strider was based off a manga? It was based
Really?
yeah, and I didn't
know that.
And in fact, the NES version of the game is more faithful to that manga
Really?
than the arcade.
Oh wow.
Like I said, Jeremy Parrish on YouTube goes into the history of these games and
All right.
very in depth. I didn't know the same low rent programming team that did Ghosts and Goblins on NES did Ikari Warriors.
I love Ghosts and Goblins.
It's not considered a good adaptation on the NES.
Really?
I mean,
Never heard
listen,
that.
I love trying to play through the first half of the first level and dying every time. It's the best
Stupid
20
devil.
seconds of playing on NES that you can have.
I mean,
But,
well, that thing got its own game, Demon's Crest.
good lord, that Ghosts and Goblins is. I think the easiest Ghosts and Goblins is the one adapted for the Sega Genesis.
Ghouls
and
and
that's
Ghosts?
Ghouls and Ghosts,
Yeah.
and that's even very difficult.
Yeah, and that's almost like Super Ghosts and Goblins.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts is freaking harder. Oh god.
See, now I gotta throw it out there. Which is more sadistically hard or normal? Ghosts and Goblins series,
Okay.
or the Mega Man series?
I have gotten through some of the Mega Man games.
Because Mega Man is Mega Man 11 is sadistic.
I've heard that they're rough.
Yeah.
I've gotten pretty far in the first 3 Mega Mans. I didn't play 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I might have played one of them because I think I have it on Xbox. I don't remember. But after 3, because my brother and I, the first one we played was 2, and that's known as the...
It's the one. I mean, I love 3, but 2 is the one.
2 really is where it picked up
Yeah.
the steam, and really, you really had some colorful
Yep.
enemies and graphics and great level layout and neat tricks to beat the bosses. And, that's where it's kind of like James Bond really got into its win by like its second or third movie. Russia with Love is where you really started seeing the tropes of a James Bond movie.
You know what's funny? I just discovered today there was a PS2 game based on From Russia with Love.
And
with
Sean
Sean
Connery
Connery,
does
yeah.
the vocals, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it is. I never played
No,
it.
neither have I, but...
Yeah. But who knows? I told you I was interested in getting... That was my retro purchase that I want to do is get another PS2. Because I really... the range of games
That's a
that you
great
have
system.
available is phenomenal.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be playing the PS2 today.
That's okay.
In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick, short break. For you, it's going to be just a few seconds. For us, it may be a few minutes while we set up. And again, like I said, you can head over to facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast because I think, we're going to set this up and we're going to go live. We're going to play some games.
Oh, boy.
Our classics, but mostly on the Switch because
Very
I'm
nice.
really lazy to switch, no pun intended, to switch up other...
You don't happen to have the Genesis collection on Switch, do you?
No, I have it on PS4. I mean, look, I have it on PS4.
Okay.
I do have 2 controllers, actually. Maybe, we can do that as well.
Either or.
No, we can do that as well.
Whatever you're up for.
I have no problem with that. I just have to pair it.
I
but
have
that's
to
no
see
problem.
this Ultra Street Fighter.
That is going to be on the Switch.
yeah.
So
All right,
that and
cool.
the 30th anniversary.
We talked so much about it earlier. We have to bring that up.
All right, so let's take a quick break. And again, of course, with Mario, all his links will be in the podcast description or in the bottom of the YouTube video.
Yes, sir.
If I somehow get this to YouTube. And, of course, you can follow him on pretty much most social media. Just look for Citizen G.
Yeah,
right?
basically look for me. You can find me on WordPress. You can find me on Twitter. Twitter is Periscope. It's the same thing. And, the Citizen G channel is on YouTube. Those are my main outlets of socialization of media and whatnot. So,
All right.
All
So we're going to take a few moments, and we will be right back.
and we're back, right, Larry?
We are back, yes.
Awesome. So I'm doing something with Larry tonight as we get to the second segment. I'm actually going live on my Periscope on the Rough Cut to kind of, what do they call that, a simulcast?
Sure.
So as we were setting up over here, I was looking at the screen and I see Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, and I was just telling Larry that I had a Wii U. I gotta tell you, I think it was unfortunate that the system didn't work out as well as it could have.
It could have been better.
Absolutely. But it had something on it that I absolutely adored and I think may have kickstarted my reinterest in old school gaming, and that was the NES Remix 1 and 2.
Yes.
I thought that was
Oh, excuse me.
one of the most fun, inventive ways to get back into... I wish more game companies would do something like that. Like, I would love to see a Sega remix. I'd love to see... I know it can never happen, with property owners and whatnot, but...
You know what? You never know.
yeah.
You never know.
But I really... And I loved the new Super Mario Brothers. I thought that they were great games. But it never took off. The main controller was a little too clunky and awkward, and I think the Switch corrected a lot of the issues the Wii U had.
I think so. I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, I tell you, I haven't been interested in a new gaming system in forever. PS3 was the last thing I ever owned, and most of the time my kids were babies, and I was playing Madagascar 2 on it for them. So I really save a couple of games. I remember Madagascar 2 over everything, and Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters was excellent.
Don't mind. Right now, I'm just sharing everything, so
Dude,
just
do
bear
your
with me.
setup. Yeah, do your setup. What do you got in store for us tonight, Larry, as far as the games?
I think first we're going to play some Street Fighter.
Awesome.
I know you want to play Ultimate. Street Fighter Ultra, I mean?
I'd love to try
Or the
that,
30th
yeah.
anniversary. Which one?
Either one.
Well, 30th anniversary is all the old stuff, so we'll
Yeah.
play...
I'm
Ultra.
good with any of those games. I love that series. At least it's the 2 version of the series. The last Street Fighter game I played was Ultra. Was it called Super Street Fighter 4? Yeah, that's the one. Super Street Fighter 4, which I thought was excellent too. And I'll tell you the truth, Street Fighter 3 was an excellent game, and it never really got the accolades that the other ones did.
I agree with you.
And I'm going to warn you, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not very good at a lot of this stuff. So you'll be laughing at me a lot.
Nah, don't worry about it. All right, so again, just sharing here. Again, now we're live on our podcast page. So again, you just want to give a shout out for your live for your
if anybody's watching on Periscope, if you want to say hello, say hello. I appreciate it. If you're not watching, that's okay too. Most people tend to check my Periscopes out after the fact, so I'm fine with that either way. You could check out the Citizen G channel on YouTube. You could check out the Rough Cut on WordPress. That's the blog, and I do have the Rough Cut on Spreaker as well. So any of those platforms, I have content on there. Not a lot. There's still a lot to do, but there's going to be more stuff out this year. Should be good.
God, there's so many groups I got to share this to. Good Lord.
Wow, look at that. You got it like all set up here. I don't know how you do it.
One. And what's that other one that Old School Gamer Mama is part of?
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How did you get this all started?
Like
what struck you to start doing podcasts and how did you pick the subjects you wanted to do this on? How did you get this more of the same network organized?
Well, it all stems back to Hollywood Babylon. That's the podcast I listened to by Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman before I got yelled at by Ralph Garman. And that's, Kevin Smith is kind of my influence against podcasting.
Wait. Why did you get
that? Is a whole other story I got to get into later.
Maybe we'll do that on my podcast.
Actually, we can do that on your podcast.
Yeah. That would be a good. This whole. I did want to do a podcast because I have the mini episodes right now on Spreaker. Mm-hmm. I would like to get you on to talk just strictly about the birth and the growth of the more of the same networks. And oh wow,
that's all right. I'm just change the grip orders here.
You got everything set up?
Yeah, I'm going to here in a moment.
Okay.
So
which controller am I using?
You're going to use the big one here. It's a little more easy to handle.
Yeah, I need easy, believe me.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. All right.
So we are going to, and I'm not really paying attention to comments, so forgive us if we're not ignoring you. Just we don't see the comments.
We're having a little bit of fun tonight. We're putting out a nice podcast for you folks out there. Putting out a nice little Periscope, which it's kind of impromptu. I didn't expect to do this, but
yeah, this is all good time.
I said, you know what? If we can do the setup, let's do the setup. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, not bad with a television like this. Ultra Street Fighter 2. I forgot I have a physical copy. Stupid physical copies.
Not a fan. I love physical copies. And it's funny. My oldest daughter loves physical copies. She'd rather have a CD than an MP3 or
MP3 any day.
She's got quite a collection, that kid.
But this is the first time I'm playing a physical game in a while.
Really?
On here.
Now, those are like a little game card, right? They're not discs anymore.
And they taste very bitter.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know why that even came up. You got Donkey Kong.
That was one of the first videos I did.
Really?
I did a taste test of it. They literally put a bittering agent so kids don't swallow it.
How's that game, The Messenger?
Where?
You have The Messenger.
Oh, it's actually good. It plays like
we'll
play it a little later.
Right?
It plays like Ninja Gaiden.
I definitely want to try that. I saw videos on that. All right.
No, definitely well worth it.
Select a user.
Yep.
You could see us in the reflection. That's me waving on the
that's the only thing I wanted to do.
Check that out. That's me. What it is, people. It's not what is it, it's what it is. It is what it is, people.
And let me put this to sleep.
Wow.
There we go. Now.
30th anniversary. I can't believe Street Fighter's been around for 30 years.
Right? So
your TV is freaking awesome, dude. That's all I gotta say. Holy cow!
So we can play in modern, or we can play with old school graphics.
I'd rather do modern. To be honest with you,
that's fine. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who was your main character when you did this?
Chun-Li.
You're a Chun-Li guy. Okay.
I am Chun-Li.
I'm a Ryu.
Yep.
Just to
do this. Don't mind me, folks. Not that you can see me, but there we go. Okay. Oop. Hello, hello. There we are. Okay, so just want to make sure we are good to go, and I think we are good to go.
Here we are, simulcast, Rough Cut, and Retro Gamers. I gotta hit the button, right? Shit.
Hold on.
Which button is
Start. It's the plus.
it? Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Where am I? Oh,
Yep, we're good.
what do I do? Okay.
Then you can pick your color.
I'm good with that.
And
stage you
you
want,
know what? Let's play old school Ryu.
Oh boy.
Ryu.
I love the look.
Oh. Oh, this is the old school look. Hold on. Pause.
I don't know my buttons. I gotta be
Hold on.
honest with you.
I'm gonna exit for a moment.
Okay, do that because I gotta adjust. I have I always adjust my fierce kick and punches. They always set it that your R top button is kick and your L is punch, and I always reverse it.
All right, so let's do.
Controller settings. Oh.
There we go. Let's do new style.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that.
All right. So controller settings for 2-player. All right. Right. Okay. I hit the button.
Hold on. Wait. There we go.
Okay. So.
Can you move it around?
No.
No. Okay.
Do you want me to hit the button?
No, I guess I'll do it.
I just gotta. What's this button up here? R and L. I just gotta swap my R's and my L.
So L would be heavy kick and R would be heavy punch.
Yeah, if you don't mind. There we go. I'm good to go.
I think that will work. We'll
do
see
it.
what happens.
Yeah, I'll let you know either way. All right, let's do it. Player versus player. Normal settings. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep, it does that all the time. So.
No, this is cool.
Make sure I hear us. Can you hear me now? There we go.
Oh wow, look at that. Animation's beautiful.
You know what? I'm just gonna ask.
Am I too far away? How's that? A little better?
I don't want you crinking your neck. So
Oh, don't worry, I'm fine.
I think that'll be fine. Shouldn't be. Give me a little
Alright.
something.
Look at that. That's freaking wild.
Yeah, that's good.
You like the red look, huh?
Do.
I just like traditional.
You still haven't selected yet. There you go.
Oh, okay. I went backwards, that's why.
Okay.
It's gorgeous. Absolutely. Wow. This is too
So
much.
this is modern.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Remember, when you shoot that Hadouken, you got like a half a second where you can't forget it.
You were saying?
Ryu.
Look at those overdrawn muscles. Like, the anatomy's ridiculous.
Ugh. I'm sorry I switched your controller buttons. Whoa. I forgot I can do that. So this is considered an official sequel to Street Fighter 2.
Is it?
And it's, I think, technically the last Street Fighter 2 game.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
Ouch. More than me being knocked out, my feelings were hurt.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, just... It's been a long time since I've played another person. Does this have a pad that I can use? I'll try the pad.
Oh, the directional pad?
Okay.
Yeah. Ugh. Oof. Oh, boy.
Wow.
All right.
You got the touch! I'll go with someone different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very much of the Ryu school of fighter, so usually I'll go with Sagat.
You know what? Let's go Guile.
And or Ryu or Ken. I think out of anybody on the outside that I ever really liked was the Bruce Lee guy. And Akuma, obviously. Does this have the other Akuma guy? Goki from Street Fighter 4? That guy was
No,
pretty
I don't
cool,
think
too.
it will. No. Oh well.
Oh, well. We'll do one more match, and let's see if I remember how to use Sagat. I don't even remember. Oh, look how sick he looks.
That cell shading will get you every time. Oh, boy.
Yeah, but I forgot how to do the Tiger Knee. Oh my god.
Oof. I didn't stand a chance.
Wow, I can't... I can't get over the look of this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ow.
I forgot.
I can't believe I
You know
can't
what?
do
I
it.
don't really use Guile that often. I don't know how to do his moves.
All charging base moves.
Yeah.
Back and then forward is the
There we
Sonic
go, okay.
Booms, yeah. And then down and up is the flash kick.
Wow, I stink.
I'm surprised I'm holding up as I'm holding up, dude. I haven't played another human being in since I was probably like 14, 15 years old. Honestly, my friend Jason used to destroy me.
Oh, yeah?
With some he was like a Zangief master.
Oh, that's right. There's Violent Ken and Evil Ryu.
Oh my god, that guy looks scary.
You know what?
He looks more evil than Akuma. All right, let's do the evil guys now. That's a nice color. I'll go with that. Pick a different stage.
Yeah, let's do... what stage did you like?
I liked Sagat's. I like Bison's. I like Ken's stage. Ken's my favorite stage.
That was this one, right? Yeah, Ken. Yeah.
The boat, yeah.
USA!
Outstanding. It's beautiful to look at. Ow.
Ooh.
How do you do that? I know.
I have no idea. It's the first time I'm using Evil Ken. I mean, yeah, Evil Ryu.
He's definitely more evil than Akuma here. Oh, come on. Do this stupid... Ow.
Gotcha. Got him.
That one guy in the background with the white t-shirt looks upset. He's got a nice-looking girl next to him. What the
He
hell's
does.
his
It's very
problem?
attractive. They're out for a night out on the town. Clearly, it's New York.
Oh, you're crushing it with this guy. I suck with Akuma.
Remember, Akuma was like the first hidden character?
Yep. Well,
Wow.
holy cow, did I just do
Wow.
that? Wow.
Excuse me.
Like I said, right now I am like still floored by the quality of your television and the graphics of this game. I mean, like they're
It's only
beautiful.
1080p on a 4K television. Ooh. Whoa.
I knew there was an angled fireball that he could do.
I suck.
You want to try one more and we'll switch to another game?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. I'll pick somebody I'm awful with.
No, don't do that. Don't handicap
See,
yourself.
Larry doesn't know I'm like the hustler in Street Fighter. You know,
I've already figured that out.
Yeah. Actually, against real Street Fighter play, I'm probably awful. But,
Fei Long.
and I'm not used to this
Oh, yeah.
controller, so let's try... Alright, oh... Yeah, I'll use Bison.
You know what? Let's go Blanca.
Pick any stage you want. Pick your favorite stage.
You know what? I do like...
That's a good pick. Bison looks a little cross-eyed. The little beady eyes. Oh, look at him. Holy... This reminds... You know what this reminds me of?
Oh.
The remake of DuckTales. I know that sounds weird.
No, I can see what you're talking about because of the cell shading.
Yeah. Come on, Bison, do something cool. Psycho Crusher.
Ah,
See, there you
that was
go.
a bit of a cheap.
No, there's no such thing as cheap.
Aroo, aroo.
Like Vin Diesel says, winning's winning.
Remember Blanca in the Street Fighter movie?
Charlie.
Do you remember?
He was Charlie.
Yeah. Do you remember Street Fighter the movie, the game?
Yeah, that was awful. That was like Pit Fighter awful.
Oh,
And I have a soft spot for Pit
God, I
Fighter.
hate Pit Fighter.
I have a very soft spot for the Genesis Pit
Dang it.
Fighter. Ow.
I'm distracted by some of
The
the
beauty
waitresses back there. I forgot how to access that super. Well, I'm not going to do it like that.
Wow. I mean, this is the definitive Street Fighter to me. Street Fighter 2 anyway.
Well, again, this is Ultra. This is like, again, like a sequel. Kind of like how you had Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street
Right,
Fighter 2
this is
Championship
a-
Edition.
Yeah, and this is the ultimate version of that series of
Yep.
games. This is incredible. I mean, I'm not used to this Nintendo controller. I'm not really taking it to as smoothly as I like.
See, I figured I'd give it... Mario's using the Pro Controller,
Yeah.
which I think is better because if you look at, like, when you use the Joy-Cons like I'm using,
Yeah.
they're a little too close together. Here, hold this.
Yeah, let
I'm
me
giving
see.
Mario the Joy-Con in the holder.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, right? It's very odd.
Yeah.
So,
But I could get used to it. It's just if
yeah.
you want to try a different game at this point,
Yeah, if you want. Let's see
I
what
don't
we
want.
got.
I don't want to commit to one game,
No, I gotcha.
especially with such one-sided
Let's see what we got.
outcomes.
I mean, we'll play
that was
Deluxe U here in a
That was throwing
moment.
some shade right there.
What happened?
I said, especially with some one-sided outcomes.
Dare you, sir?
Terrible.
30th anniversary Street
Now,
Fighter.
Bloodstained is also a Castlevania type game, right? It's next to Street Fighter 30.
Where am I?
Keep going. Right to the right, yeah.
Yeah, it plays a bit Castlevania-like.
All right.
I would say almost Castlevania 3, actually.
So
Yeah.
let's try that one first, if you don't mind.
Bloodstained?
I just want to see a
Okay.
level or two of it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't necessarily have to play it myself, but I like to.
I don't think it's necessarily a two-player game, to be honest with you.
Oh, so there you go.
So.
Okay. We'll swap the controller or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a Castlevania game. You could see right off the bat.
You know what? I'll start a new series.
So have you played this before?
I have, yeah. I stink at it.
So this
but-
is like one of those things to my viewers. It's a modern retro game.
Yes.
In other words, it was made recently, but it's meant to pay tribute and emulate the style of, I would say, third generation NES.
I equate this to Castlevania 3.
That's exactly where I was. Yeah, which actually made tremendous strides, and it's very similar with the parallax scrolling
Actually,
going on.
I've played this a bunch of times. Here, you can play, and it's just really just Y and B. Those
Okay.
two buttons on the side.
Let's see. Oh, look at that. Okay, so
I think you may use X when you get another weapon.
yeah, I just
Yeah, I think you
lost
just
a
did
weapon.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this plays like Castlevania, no doubt. And there's the doorway interesting. They cut out all the flicker, thankfully.
And what happens is eventually you can get other characters, like in Castlevania 3, where you swap out. The only difference is you can get up to 3 other characters, and the additional characters are technically almost like continues.
Oh wow.
Because if you die now, it's like game over. When you get one more character, you have 2 shots at it.
So right off the bat, one thing I like about this is that they did away with any kind of flicker effect for nostalgia's sake.
Oh, yeah.
It's not necessary. And the other thing I've noticed, the parallax layers are incredibly smooth looking. Everything's well animated. There's definitely more color than the NES ever had.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But this is if this had come out in 89 or 90, I think people would have been, this is like game of the year material. People would have been blown away by this game.
Yeah.
And it's very smooth. It's definitely, listen, this is Castlevania, no, without a doubt. The sword element, rather than the whip, kind of gives it a little bit of Ninja Gaiden, because he kind of swipes it the same way the ninja does.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't wait to play that other game now. Ooh. Now can I jump to that other side? Oh, I thought there was a pit there. My camera was in the way.
Oh, is it?
No, it's okay. I'm doing all right. This is freaking cool, man.
It's a good game. I think it's available on other platforms.
Yeah. Can you get this on, like, I could download this on my Acer? How do I kill this thing? There we
Just
go.
like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe if you download Steam.
So this is our, like I said, here we are live. I'm trying out this new retro game, and now I'm on a train. It's definitely it's gothic in a different way than Castlevania was, at least this level. And I just got hit by a chandelier. That was embarrassing. Come on, fall down. Oh my god, I suck. I think I died. All right, Larry. I just wanted to play till I died.
Right.
Go
you
on
want to try Messenger?
Messenger.
The Messenger.
Oh, the ninja game. Yeah, let's do it. Does this have NES remix on it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
This has the actual... Well, it kind of has a version.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute.
Okay, let's check out. I want to check out the Messenger.
And here, play. It pretty much plays the
It's the
same way.
game, right? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
This is one of those things where I definitely.
What'd I do?
I don't know.
There we go.
All right. Ooh.
Fancy.
I'm kind of wondering if my thing's even recording. I'm wondering if I've been talking the whole time. Can you just tap the screen for me? Let me just tap my screen and just see. I'm kind of a... Oh, it's still going. Okay. Cool.
Uh-oh.
Everything. All right, so let's hit some buttons. This is very Ninja Gaiden-esque. I could see already with the cinema scenes that I'm not going to watch because I just want to play the game. This looks like fun.
Ooh, loud.
And you want a new game, right? Yeah. I'm going to a new game. And... yeah.
Just...
All right. That's good. D is good. Button. Yeah. Hey, what happened? Where'd it go?
I think there's a lot of cinema in the beginning. See if you can... I don't know if you can try and...
This... Now, you see, this is... yeah, I gotta say, this... Visually, this blows away Ninja Gaiden. Holy cow. This is closer to like 16-bit. Now, that's what I've heard, that this game switches to an 8-bit style look to a 16-bit.
I think so, yeah.
He does a flip. He has a
I think
combination.
you're going to attack that dummy.
Yeah. Oh, this dummy?
Not forever, but...
Oh, it doesn't go into pieces
No.
and give you something? Okay. Can I go into this door? No.
No, it's pretty much a side-scroller.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at some very outstanding graphics. All right, I want to kill some ninjas. Let's go.
Basically, if you jump
Yeah, you got a
and
double
you
jump.
swipe on that, that's your double jump, basically.
Okay.
Like, you hit it, and then you jump again.
Okay, so once I... Okay.
See how they hit it, then jump?
And then he hits the up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's up to talk to him.
Okay, so... Okay, I suck.
Hey, you got to attack it.
Oh!
Basically, hit it and jump again.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, wow, that was pretty neat. Okay. Well,
I mean, it takes some getting used to.
I just want to get through this shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't need to be good at this. I mean, it's, this looks more like a TurboGrafx 16 game to me.
I can see that.
It's like 8.5-bit, you know? It's like 12-bit. Uh-oh. They have returned. All right, let's kill people now. Whoa, look out, ninjas. Get out of my way. I don't want to talk to you. The graphics are beautiful. What the heck is that thing? Bring human... How do I kill that thing? Now, there's a video where the guys who made Ninja Gaiden on NES played this, and they loved it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they loved that it was a nice tribute, and this is beautiful. Just goes to show you that you never, it doesn't always have to be all 3D.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of cinema in this. So
Yeah, that's the only...
I just want to fight.
Yeah, just... What happens if you hit start?
Okay.
Or the plus?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay.
Yeah, there's a little... That's my critique so far. A little too much of this. But I'm a very impatient person when it comes
there's
to
a
this
lot
stuff.
of it, too.
Yeah?
Like, there's parts.
Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid did that to me,
Like there's
too
one
much.
part when you go on in the game, there's a merchant, and there's this chest that when you try and open it, because there's some funny part, like it tries to put some humor into it, and the merchant's like, "Don't open it if you hit up again. I told you don't open it," and you hit it again. It's like, you haven't learned your lesson, have you? You can do it like 20 times, and then he goes, "If you try and open it one more time, I'm going to force you to tell this story, and you cannot jump past it."
Really?
Like, it breaks the fourth wall, and it goes on for like 10 minutes, and you can't skip it.
Oh, my God. Oh, see, okay, cool. I just hit all the buttons at once when I go to those things. I'm terrible at this. The graphics are stunning. I love this kind of look. Better graphics than the other game, but I think I like... Oh, boy, I'm in trouble.
And what's great about this on the Switch, you can take it on the road with you.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've seen that. Ouch. I definitely feel the Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, right? Ooh.
All right, next game. Here you go, Larry.
All right.
I'll pass it back to you. You give something a shot. Now, for my Periscope, I'm going to do 1 or 2 more games.
Okay.
All right, so pick what you want. Show me something. Show me something awesome.
Show me something good. I'm trying to think.
Citizen G goes old school.
Sonic. You know what? Let's check out the NES.
Oh, yeah. That's what... Listen.
Let's do this. Back up. Go down here to the controllers. I'm going to remap the controllers because now we're going to use... I actually have the NES
have these,
Classics.
So we're going to grab these controllers. This is really...
Hit the 2 buttons on top at the same time, L and R. No, don't hold it. Just press it.
Okay.
There you go. All right, good. So now it's player 2. Okay. Now, also, because I created a Japanese profile,
you have a Famicom.
I also have the Famicom version as well.
Wow.
I wish they sold those controllers.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But here's what it looks like when the NES controllers are connected. People who have this may see a little difference.
Okay.
And hear a little difference. Okay. So normally it's not gray, and listen, like you don't get those sounds when you just use a regular controller.
Oh, wow.
It's like a special controller. So these are the games.
Outstanding.
These are the games that have been coming out monthly.
Look at that.
And the SPs are special versions of the games.
Oh, no kidding.
Like with Zelda, this version, you pretty much start with almost all the weapons.
I've heard that you could play it like that.
And
you
it's
don't
cool.
have to, right?
No, because you have regular Zelda down here.
Right, okay.
This is like if you just want to kind of, all right, let's just play and try and beat it, but I have everything.
Go through the dungeons.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Gradius, you start, I think you start actually near the end of the game.
That's a tough game.
Same with Dr. Mario and same with Metroid. So what's a good 2-player game here? Double Dragon? Or what do you want to play?
Keep going. What else you got?
These
That's
are the
everything. Okay.
This is it on it right now.
Okay.
The new set haven't come out yet.
Is that Excite Bike 2-player at the same time? I love Excite Bike. No?
I don't think so.
Let's go with that. Let's see what happens.
No, it's not.
What's Selection B?
Selection B, I think, is just a harder.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So forget that. I thought for some reason you could. I don't know. There's so many here. What about pro wrestling? Can you'll destroy me in pro wrestling? Or is it just a one player?
No, this is a 2-player game.
They use the same music for baseball.
I know. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Left and right, select your character.
Okay. Can you name who these wrestlers are based on? Like that looks like Ric Flair.
Actually, I think that's more like Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry Von Erich, Joe Animal Steel.
You think that's the Hulkster?
Maybe
that's
like a
Ric
mix
Flair.
between that and Flair.
Yeah. All right, I'll go with this
Kincorn Khan is probably Killer Khan.
Okay.
Starman, really no one.
Okay.
Fighter Hayabusa
He's
maybe
a
would be.
Japanese guy. What's that guy's name? Didn't Muhammad Ali fight him?
Antonio Inoki?
Yeah, maybe it's an Inoki.
Maybe I kind of see a little Bruno Sammartino.
Bruno Sammartino. Okay. The only reason I go with Inoki is because of the Japanese name. All right, so how do we do this? Punch, kick.
And double taps a run.
Bam! Oh, I clotheslined your knee. Ooh. Get up. Ooh! This is old school gaming right here.
Just give me 2 seconds.
No, I'm going to toss you.
Yeah, keep beating me up.
How do I stomp you? I can't. My friend Brian was so proud when he beat this game when he was like 9 years old.
This is where Winner Is You comes from.
Yes. This is a hard... Well, it's even harder now. Ooh, you missed. Now, do I have to tap while you're on the ground when I pin you?
I never really...
Get up.
Known that?
That was awesome. There's no energy bar, right?
Nope.
Oh, you just slammed me.
Oop.
Now, how did you do that? How did you do the slam?
I think it's just you once you type, I just kind of it's a combination of the buttons and the directional pad. Brainbuster.
You've definitely are a master. You don't have to be good at Street Fighter 2, Larry. You mastered this. This is even...
And as far as I know, one of the few wrestling games with a cameraman.
But you can't take the cameraman out, right?
And I don't know. You could do a flying body press to the outside of the ring. I don't think I still don't know how to do that.
Oh, there's the knee. It's like we're dancing. Oh, you punched me in the back of the head.
Ooh.
Ha ha ha. Pin him.
How do the NES controllers feel?
I love it. This is really giving me a... I bit your head again. That can't be a legal move. So when that ringtone goes off, does that mean I can pin you?
I'm still not 100% sure. After like 30 years.
It's just you mash buttons until somebody dies.
Basically.
All right. I wanted to bite your head again. That's okay. I don't...
Ooh.
Get up. Get up. Oh, God, we're dead. Oh, it's over for me. No.
Ooh.
Oh, that was tight. No, stop hitting B. I want a pin.
Come on, ref. You're out of position.
You know what is kind of sad? You'll never see Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on this.
No, you'll see Punch-Out.
Yeah, not Mike Tyson's.
Oh!
Did you see that thing I sent you earlier with the Rocky Balboa? That's from Slice Stallone's shop.
Yes, I like that.
It's a $28 shirt.
Really? Well, you know what? Cheaper than WWE.
Yeah. I would get that shirt. I like that.
Best two out of three.
Do you have any plans for the weekend, Larry?
Tomorrow's my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday,
yes,
Mr. Mormon.
Happy birthday indeed.
Slammed it.
So pretty much going to do that. Sunday I'll be appearing at the Barclays Center for the Islanders game. And then back to the grind.
This is outstanding. I love this.
Like this.
So you beat me before, right?
Yes.
I wasn't even paying attention.
So this is going to be an old school 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay. You don't have to let me win the second round.
I'm not letting you win anything.
Please show me no mercy.
After what you did to me in Street Fighter?
Oh God, that was just uncalled for and cruel.
Oh.
So was that. He kind of looks like Blanca's father, you know? I think that was another character we tried to use was Blanca because he was like a monster.
Oh, yeah.
We figured,
Oh, this is no time limit. I never noticed that. 2-player games, no time limit.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, have you, not to get off topic, Larry, but I saw something about Chris Jericho signing with an All Elite Wrestling.
Yes.
What is that all about? I never even heard of this.
Well, basically, it's a new group being started by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
All right.
They're signing a lot of talent. They got a lot of, what was part of Bullet Club. Oh, still got me with the clothesline.
Yeah, man.
And out of nowhere, in a shocking signing.
I saw that with Chris Jericho, right?
Guy Jericho, who pretty much has said usually like he wouldn't really wrestle for any other promotion in the U.S., even though he just came off of a run in New Japan as the IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Really?
But yeah, he signed with which I think is going to help All Elite get off the ground Their
Good for
pay per
him,
view,
man.
I believe, is
that's it.
Winner.
You are the superior grappler. You're the
their
superior
pay-
8-bit grappler. Phenomenal.
double or nothing pay per view.
Now with that, Larry, I'm gonna close out my Periscope.
Okay.
All right, but I'll still.
Okay.
Let me do that real quick. All right, guys, thank you for joining the Rough Cut. I'm going to continue the podcast with the Retro Gamers, and we're going to be messing around with some games this evening until Larry shows up. What it is, people, thank you for tuning in.
Sweet.
Thank you, man.
All right.
All right, so that's done. Now,
All right, so we're still going. We can play a few more games.
all right, so what are we going to try?
Anything here? You want to try the new Super Mario Brothers Deluxe?
I do want to do one more Nintendo
Okay.
game, but there's so many ones I enjoyed.
Solomon's Key is probably the most underrated NES game.
I think
Ever.
I my special classic. I may have tried it once or twice. I remember
It's on the
enjoying it.
Famicom.
Really?
Yep.
I'm up for some Gradius, to be honest with you.
Is that a two-player game?
I think it's alternating 2-player.
Okay. Yes.
You'll see how truly horrible I am at this.
No
Just-
Konami code.
I got to see how good you are at this. You're pretty good. This is faster than what I remember. Yeah, this looks like it's going a lot faster than what I remember. It looks beautiful. There's a beauty to these 8-bit games. Like, it's, now that time has passed.
Yeah, right.
You know, when we were younger, I remember comparing it. Oh, the graphics are good on this and not good on that. And I mean, that while that largely remains true, you look at some of these old school games, the effort they put into the artwork to make it look decent. Like, this was big for Nintendo because it was really one of their first games that really came close to what the arcade experience was like before they put that rule in where they had to make the games different. I hope I wasn't distracted.
No,
there,
not at
pal.
all.
But I do feel the speed has been amped up on this.
A little bit, I think.
Because, That's alright. I'm not going to get much further. I get up to the part with the volcanoes and I just die. You need to speed up a little bit,
right.
pal. Hey, give me... Alright, now
Yeah.
I think I'm going too fast. You go so fast in this, even though it's really not fast. Like, I lose control. It's kind of funny. And don't worry, I'm not going to... I have had a reputation in the past for losing my... Oh, my lord.
Oh.
Sad and pitiful. Very upbeat with the music. And this game, if you notice, has changes throughout the stage of music.
Yes.
And now, the indirect sequel to this was Life Force, am I right?
Yes.
So right about where you're coming up to in a minute... No, not here. The next two mountain ranges is where I usually die every time since 1987.
I say, I think I'm going a little too fast.
I don't think I've ever cleared the first stage. Ever. My brother
Really?
has. My brother was very good at this game. And I was better at Life Force than this. I can at least get to the second or third stage. Interesting story about Life Force. There is a way to get 200 lives
Just like that.
on one player, and the other player when
Two.
Whoa! Sorry, I cursed.
That's
loud.
all right. That's all right.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, sometimes you got to concentrate with these.
It was New Year's Eve, 1988 or something like that, and we found it by accident. It was like a trick you did.
think
where
you told me about this.
die, and you're on top of the other ship, and you do something at that
Yes.
moment, and they get like 99 lives or 200 lives, and every time you die, you could take one of their lives, and that's how my brother and I beat the game. We kind of found it by accident. It was a weird trick. You can find the trick. It is on YouTube somewhere. All right, what do I need? I need another. Nobody's gonna stand in my way now, Larry. I'm gonna. What's
gotta
this guy's name?
concentrate.
Vic Viper.
Vic Viper.
Vic Viper is toast.
All right.
But all in all, it's the memories associated with these games.
A lot of this is muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory, and even then, it takes good reflexes if you know the patterns.
Where'd that guy come from?
They come from behind. Oh, I'm still alive. Oh my god. But playing these games now, it takes me back to the days when we used to play them, and boys will be boys in those days, and we used to kind of rag on each other and while we'd play and compete. But there was some really fun moments, like the first time you beat something. Name a game.
Oh yeah, I mean the first game I ever beat was Contra.
Yeah, it wasn't even a game I beat. My brother beat it. All right, so I don't know what to do here. I really don't know what to do. That was so fast. I don't know how to dodge that stuff.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
So, I remember, I forgot whose birthday it was, but I used to have these family gatherings, some at my different uncles and aunts or at our house, and all the cousins would be there. So my one cousin had the NES, and I think my brother brought over his copy of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Gets to Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Now, we knew there was a pattern to Mike Tyson, but we never really figured it out. Well, my brother was playing, and he survived the first round, and he survived the first 30 seconds where he throws those really fast uppercuts.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, I would have hated you if you would have cleared that. It's my turn to die now, so don't worry. There's got to be somewhere you can stay where you just miss all this stuff. And he ended up beating Mike Tyson on points.
Really?
But what was happening was every round a different cousin would come in the room, and next thing you know, 5, 6 of our cousins are sitting there watching my brother fight Mike Tyson. And everybody cheered. He beat the game, and it was like, that's the kind of things you remember with that stuff, Come on. Yeah, my reflexes are not that of a...
The muscle memory may not necessarily be here for this game.
Yeah. This is kind of like, how much can I laugh at myself? All right, so come on. I just don't know what to do.
Like
I was
that.
almost there. I almost escaped it. Anyway.
Hey, you can hold on to it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Next. So was there anything else, Larry, that you had on your mind as far as what's going on in the world of retro gaming? Anything new? Anything you heard? Or
Not really. No, nothing that I can think of right now. So, I mean, short of, again, they just released today New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe for the Switch. It's been amazing so far.
When do you think this stuff exploded again? Like, when did it really... Do you think it was the video game nerd? Do you think it was him back in 2007 or 2006?
I think it probably helped.
I mean, yeah, you got to give credit to that guy. He does some... he puts out some crazy...
Did you guys see that controller?
Yeah.
I think, he's the one that did with all the online reviews. I remember really seeing retro games in college.
Were they really retro games then, though? Or were they kind of just older?
I would say they were.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. See, with me, with the advent of the internet and everything, and the early 2000s, people were watching videos of this stuff. People were putting this stuff up. I think YouTube was a big contributing factor for a renewed interest in all these old...
For fun, here's what the Famicom looks like.
All right, let's check that out.
But I would say definitely like when I was in college, so that would have been around 98. Well, really more like 2000.
So I was still playing PS1 and PS2 was about to come out. I guess I would have been a contemporary gamer then. Wow.
Really no difference in games? Other than just the Japanese versions, so you'll get like some of the different sounds.
Is that Fighter Hayabusa in the corner over there?
Yeah.
How did I know? Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, that's also on the American version.
Oh, wow.
Ice Hockey, Gradius. So.
Excellent, man. That's stuff. Zelda right there.
Yep. Oop.
This is a nice setup. Nintendo put out a good product, I gotta say. I'm kind of warmed up to it a little bit.
So far, the only game that's different between the Japanese and the American is this special version of NES Open Tour Golf. So, all right, so let's play some modern with a twist of old because of the controllers.
Okay, let's
play new Super Mario Brothers Deluxe U, which basically plays. It's a side scroller. It plays like original Mario.
I had this on the Wii U.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I did, and I loved it. And
so
I
it's
had
basically the same thing.
New Super Mario 1 was excellent too, and my daughters used to like this game.
Oh, on Wii?
I had it on Wii U.
Okay.
But you could play some of the Wii games, am
Yes.
I right? Yeah, so that I remember. Yeah, I love this. I love the look. I love the animation. You know, and it basically stays true to the mechanics that made it popular.
No.
And the level design. It's just the artwork gets the upgrade a lot, and
So who you want to be?
I think I'm going to be Mario because that's my
Alright.
name.
You want to be Toad.
Okie dokie! Oh boy, I wanted my pasta! Sorry, I gotta live up to my name.
And the guy who plays Mario, Guinness Book of World Records, for playing the same character over 100 times.
Wow, it's the same guy they always used?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Since 64, right? That's when they really gave him a voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite in this series?
I probably Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, I'm already super, huh? Number 3 is your favorite?
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for 2, but oh, man. I'm pretty much in agreement with you. I think 3 was, But I'll tell you the truth, these games I really enjoy. I mean, this is more in the vein of Super Mario World in many ways, but another game my brother was excellent at. How'd you do that? How'd you float like that?
Hold B. Hold A.
Hold A? Hold it. Yeah, all right. I
Yeah.
gotcha. Can't go down there?
Oh, where you going?
That's pretty wild. This is a deluxe version, so I don't even know if I've ever played this one.
It's basically the same thing. Here, come here. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You don't want me doing that. Yoshi,
right.
stop
Come
this
here, Yoshi.
already. Can you eat these guys? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, right? Stupid us. Here, we can jump off each other. There you go.
We got to get those big stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was another one on the Wii U that came out, a 3D one.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's not bad. Super Mario World 3D. Kind of based on Super Mario Land 3D.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was excellent, actually.
Oh, yeah. All right.
My that was another one my daughter and I used to play.
No, definitely a good one.
Yeah. But there's a lot of good, social experiences with friends, with family
Ooh.
that you can have with this stuff. Especially, I love the old school, really. I mean, my older daughter isn't so much the gamer. My younger one is. I had the checkpoint, buddy.
No, that's good.
All right.
We work as a team.
Yeah. Oh, you see that? Got some moves.
Uh-oh.
Did I just eat you?
You sure
I'm
did.
sorry.
Let me get that.
Such a feast on the eyes. It's oh boy.
Stupid Yoshi.
I'll get revenge for you. Oh, you son of a...
Son of an unnamed goat.
Yes, right, that thing. Yoshi, you gotta behave if I'm... Oh.
Well, Yoshi's just here and
Woo!
all over the place, huh?
This is awesome.
Huh. Whoa.
Are we like... Did you just do that?
No, that was you. I think you spit something out that does a fire.
It's a long stage.
Got it.
Wow.
Oh.
Your
Bye,
TV
Yoshi.
is just awesome. That's all I can say.
All right. What do we got? Let's let's go with this one.
So what I got to get to you? Any particular Genesis games you want me to get into your hands?
I'm still looking for Bloodlines.
I thought your Game On had that.
No, I still haven't found it.
Really? You know who might have it? That video game. I know you're not the biggest fan, but they may have it there. I may have seen. I know I've seen it. Whoa, 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 whoa! Easy,
Whoa.
pal. What is that thing? Oh yes.
Oh, no. No!
Did you just die? Did I just kill you?
Oh.
I apologize.
If you hold that and press R, he'll, Oh, thank you.
Okay. There we go.
Wait.
I like that they use the original sound effect for that.
There we go.
And the screen, the further apart we are.
Yeah,
And I just died.
You'll come back in a moment.
Yeah, but I won't have my fireballs.
There we go.
Alright, so much for that. Oh boy, I almost died again. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, that was awesome. I'll wait a minute before I come back into the scene. Go up. I want to get on some kind of platform. There we go. No, you... Oh my god.
Actually, I feel like we can go into that pipe.
Well, you go in. I automatically follow you, right?
No, you don't.
Really? So.
Oh, there you go.
See, no, I
Get
think...
some time.
Oh my god. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's all right. Ooh.
Oh, I see.
Oh, no!
What happened? Was
I fell. Oh, we're both done.
Oh man.
We're not good at teamwork.
I haven't played this. Like I said, last time I played this, my youngest was maybe like 5 years old.
Yeah, let's go this way then.
I barely remember this. I'm enjoying every second of it. Rise of the Piranha Plants, Acorn Plains. There we go.
Nice.
Don't mess with me when I got fought. What we? Oh, I'll be right there.
No, you don't have to.
I don't really have to. Yeah. But look, there's fireballs for you. Oh, I'll take another one. What the hell? Clearly inspired by the Little Shop of Horrors.
Little shop.
Am I right? Am I right?
No, I believe you.
Oops. So you put out a poll recently about updating this to include more modern
Yep.
games. Any updates on that?
People voted yes.
Yeah. Good.
Would you pop your bubble here so you can get the thing?
You won't pop it. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
If you hit R, you'll do a spin jump.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? I'll go. All right. Kill that thing.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. Okay.
What the?
I got this.
Okay, you kill them for me.
You get the coins. Oh well.
Oh, I thought I was flickering for a minute. I just committed suicide.
So did I. Son of a gun.
Oh, well.
All right, let's see.
So have you and Anthony been talking about that at all?
What?
About what you're going to... how you're going to
We're deciding. We're
repurpose
starting to incorporate new stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
It's just because there's only so much...
Retro gaming, yeah, like you said, there's thousands upon thousands of games, but you get to a point, you cover your bases with the top tier titles or subjects going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, new is always, that's a never-ending supply of material.
Oh, absolutely.
Retro. The one thing about retro gaming is that the more time passes, the more newer systems, become retro.
True.
Right? I don't want to go in that thing again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we do it. Let's do it again here. Nope, let's not do it again.
All right, let's keep
Do,
moving.
do, 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 do. You know what happens? I keep looking at Mario because I'm used to being Mario.
I'm just overwhelmed by these
Slide.
this TV. I just stopped paying attention to what I do. Wow, I did that crazy move. Did you see that? I don't even want to fight that guy. I missed.
Oh, just higher.
They do the
Mario
dance.
time.
Very, very nice.
So, are you impressed with the Switch so far?
Yes, I am. I actually am.
That's good.
It definitely makes me think twice.
Let's go this way.
Outstanding.
Cannon's about to fire a barrage of coins and 1-ups. Collect as many as you can. Get more 1-ups than Bowser's to earn them.
Great.
You stay on the left. I'll stay on the
Okay.
right.
Sounds good to me. Oh, I got one of those Bowsers.
Ooh. Ah, shoot. Shoot. Okay. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, man.
All right, let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, all right.
We didn't do too bad.
Not bad at all.
Wow. They're all happy jumping around. Look at this.
What was your favorite part of Super Mario Bros. 3? Those mini games.
Oh, the mini games. I like the slots. Well, not the slots.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm thinking,
like when it lines
of
up.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
Whoa.
The matching. But my favorite level in Super Mario Brothers 3, without a doubt, was with the giant stage where everything was huge.
Oh, yes.
That was awesome.
Ooh. What is that? I must not remember this because I don't remember getting that. Oh. Okay. Just out of curiosity.
What happens now?
I'm not going to use it.
Huh.
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. Lenny. I mean.
Lemmy.
Oh,
They
Lemmy,
named
yeah.
him after Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good heavens.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
Ooh, I'm like a raccoon.
You are. But not the same raccoon as Super Mario Brothers.
No. Oh, I almost killed you. Sorry.
No, it's all right. See if you can jump on top there.
Where?
Get all those coins.
How do I do that?
Oh. Jump on my head.
Oh, I was just there. Oh, shit.
You can climb. You can climb.
What
can,
button?
Ah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
You keep going, and I'll catch up with you. I kind of remember this stage. What button do I use to climb?
I think, actually, maybe you don't climb as much as you just cling.
Yeah,
So that may have been my fault.
That's okay. It was...
There's actually there's bonus videos in this. That
Oh, yeah, I did kind of cling. You're right. That thing's gonna get me.
There you go.
All right. Well, we got the checkpoint.
Oh, I missed it. Missed it again.
And you're fried.
You gotta get those red coins.
I do?
Yep.
Why?
Because then you get a bonus.
Oh,
But we are not gonna get it.
I just want to beat the boss.
Go for it then.
I'm not like a
Completionist?
completionist. That's the word. Yeah. All right. Up we go. Oh, boy. All right.
Okay. There you go.
It's such a colorful-
Jump.
All right. There we go. I'm floating it. All right.
Tight.
Oh, boy.
This is without pushing me off this.
Did I push you? Did I do that?
Yeah.
I can't see what the hell's going on. Now, is this the boss or...
No, it should be Lemmy.
All right, Lemmy. You're about to be killed.
Ace of Spades.
I was going to say killed by death. Oh, but we got to go on the boat, don't we?
We are.
I was kind of hoping. Come on along.
Ba-boom. Nailed it.
All right.
Cool. I'm guessing we have to throw the bombs back at him.
Oh, we don't jump on him?
It doesn't look like... Oh, I guess we do. Okay. Come on.
This is fun. All right, so that's twice. What is it, 3 times?
3 times.
All right, one more time.
I stink.
Nah, it's my fault. I'm kind of getting in your way. Man, I dive bombed him, huh? Okay.
Mario number 1.
Your post
Toad,
just
nowhere
went
to be
up,
found.
too.
What happened?
The post for this podcast, I think, just went up. I just got a message on my thing. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
This is a good setup, I gotta say. You get the podcast and play games.
Yeah, I try. All right. I think we're probably going to call it here. Now that we're through the first level.
Wow, that was pretty good.
So again, let's save it. So a fan of the Switch?
Yes, I am.
Maybe
I've made it.
If it drops in price.
I'll consider it. It'd be some. My kids might. Oh, at least my little one might be interested. She's a real big Xbox girl, but I dropped something important here. What did I drop?
So, all right, so we're going to wrap this up both on the live stream and on the podcast. Again, I want to thank... Let me actually just mute this here.
Yes,
There we
sir.
go. So, again, I want to thank Mario Citizen G being on this week's episode, subbing in for Anthony, who's on assignment.
Listen, thank you for having me, man. This was a blast. This was a really good time. I'm finally glad I got to go on your show.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy we had this good time here. This is an extended episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And a little too late now, but if you want, you can listen to the first half, then watch the second half.
And there's 2 periscopes out pertaining to this episode, too, on my rough cut. So if you guys want to check it out, by all means do so. Check out the blog when you get a chance. Check out the Spreaker. Check out the YouTube. I appreciate all the support. And Larry, again, this was a good time, dude, really.
No, I had a blast. This was fun. We're going to do this more often.
I'm more than happy to come back, and again, I'll get you on my show, too.
Yes. And with that, folks, we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.